Sharon and Phyllis's relationship, a strange and interesting journey unlike the close-knit best friends of TV dramas. The relationship between Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers on The Young and the Restless is filled with complications, conflicts, and conflicting emotions. They are not best friends in the traditional sense, and their existence in the same space has been a challenge for the harmony between the characters. Since they first met, Sharon and Phyllis have never really found common ground. From arguments about work, love, to personal matters, their rivalry has always been one of the key factors that create drama on Y&R. Sharon, with her gentle and cautious nature, and Phyllis, with her strong and sharp nature, never seem to be able to get along. Yet, over the years, they have been constantly intertwined in each other's lives, causing fierce but also painful battles. It is this tension that makes the story so appealing, because viewers are always attracted to the confrontations, the battles of self-esteem and the complex unresolved emotions. After a series of events and challenges in the lives of both characters, an interesting thing gradually appears. Can Sharon and Phyllis open up and mend their relationship? Is it possible that after so many conflicts and hurts, they can find understanding and love? Notably, their relationship begins to change as both face new challenges in life. Each person has their own issues that they need to deal with, and one of the important factors that can change this relationship is the gradual realization that no one else but the other can deeply understand the emotions and hurts they have experienced. It can be said that this is a process of change, a maturity in the relationship. A special event that can be an important turning point for Sharon and Phyllis is when they both go through a difficult situation. Although not a formal confrontation, this situation can be an opportunity for both of them to not only look back on the past but also think about the future. When both of them realize that they can support each other and overcome difficulties, their relationship can be rebuilt from the smallest things, from simple but sincere help. However, whether the relationship between Sharon and Phyllis can continue to develop is a difficult question to answer. The story isn't always easy. Nick Newman, a key figure in both of their lives, could be the catalyst for some new turmoil. With Sharon and Nick's strong bond and feelings for Phyllis still unresolved, it's inevitable that the threesome's relationship could have some tension. One of the reasons why Sharon and Phyllis's relationship is so unique and compelling is that it's unlike any other on-screen relationship. Perhaps audiences will find their past relationship, with its bitter fights and sharp words, much more interesting than the awkwardness and ambiguity of the present. A big part of this story is the complexity of friendship, where the two can never truly find harmony, and any attempts to get back together are just tests, not true reconciliation. Some fans believe that Sharon and Phyllis's relationship could have been something different if it weren't for the past getting in the way. They feel that the rivalry between Sharon and Phyllis makes for some great drama, and that's why they love the conflict and tension. Sharon and Phyllis's new friendship, will it last? After all that has happened, can Sharon and Phyllis build a new relationship, a true and lasting friendship? Although they have not fully reconciled yet, the change in their personalities and perceptions of each other could be the foundation for this friendship to start a new chapter. However, Nick's involvement in this story will always be a factor that puts Sharon and Phyllis's relationship to the test. As an important man in both of their lives, Nick has always created an inevitable bond between them. It is his idealism towards Sharon and Phyllis's sense of unfairness that could make any reconciliation complicated and dramatic. These situations are not only a challenge for Sharon and Phyllis, but also an opportunity for these characters to prove that they can grow up, move on from the past, and truly reconnect. Once they can put the past aside, and truly start over, this friendship could become one of the most profound on the show. The romance between Sharon and Phyllis, despite its contradictions and awkwardness, has always been one of the most remarkable stories on The Young and the Restless. Can they open up again and overcome their challenges, when all the heartache, jealousy, and love are always intertwined? It's a question that has yet to be answered. But it's this ambiguity and challenge that makes this relationship indispensable in the complicated world of Y&R. For years, the relationship between Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers on The Young and the Restless, Y&R, has been one of the biggest talking points for viewers. From dramatic confrontations to heated arguments, the two have been constantly at odds and competing with each other. However, something strange has been happening in recent episodes, as Sharon and Phyllis, two former enemies, have begun to show some harmony and even friendliness towards each other. This unexpected change cannot help but cause a stir, especially among Y&R fans. Known as bitter rivals, Sharon and Phyllis have long had a rocky relationship. Sharon, with her gentle and kind nature, and Phyllis, with her assertive and bold nature, have never been able to find harmony. Emotional battles, jealousy, and disagreements about relationships surrounding Nick, whom they both have feelings for, have strained the situation between them. But now, an unexpected change is taking place, and the question is, can this relationship continue to develop into a true friendship, or is it just a temporary change? What makes this change special is the kidnapping crisis that Sharon and Phyllis experienced together. When Martin held them hostage in a psychiatric clinic, they had to rely on each other to survive. In this desperate situation, they gradually realized that only each other could help, and the old, competitive relationship was no longer suitable for the situation. Empathy, the dangerous situation forced them to temporarily put aside their previous disagreements to fight for survival together. It can be said that this is an important turning point in the relationship between Sharon and Phyllis. The two are no longer opponents in an emotional battle or a power struggle. Instead, they have become companions in a survival challenge. After escaping the kidnapping situation, their relationship becomes more intimate. They not only save each other's lives, but also face their fears and stress together. This creates a change in the way they perceive each other. This change is not without its awkwardness. Sharon and Phyllis may no longer be directly fighting with each other, but that does not mean they are completely at ease as friends. In fact, they are still struggling with mixed emotions from the past. The competitive habits, the endless arguments, are always in their minds. And although they may share a hug or a compliment after the crisis, these things still cannot hide the awkwardness between the two. This is especially noticeable when the two try to make small talk or offer forced smiles. This awkwardness makes the relationship between Sharon and Phyllis strange and awkward. The audience can definitely feel the difference in the way they interact with each other. This is not a true friendship, but a temporary truce. And while both try to overcome this difficult feeling, there is still a big question in each of their minds: can this relationship last? Sharon and Phyllis's relationship, a reconciliation or a temporary deal? With all that said, the question Y&R fans are asking is, should Sharon and Phyllis go back to being rivals? This reconciliation may not last, and it's their rivalry that has created some of the most dramatic moments on the show. The battles between Sharon and Phyllis are not just about Nick's feelings, but also about their opposing personalities. This reconciliation, while sweet, also carries a huge risk of a resurgence of bitter confrontations in the future. While Sharon and Phyllis have shown signs of reconciliation, that doesn't mean their relationship is any stronger. They may have learned to respect each other more, but the conflicting emotions from the past can't be completely erased. The two still have to deal with rivalry and mistrust, which will continue to create tension in tense situations. Phyllis and Sharon, enemies or friends against enemies? One of the big questions fans are asking is, would Sharon and Phyllis work better as enemies? It's their rivalry that has created some of the most memorable drama on Y&R. And while they may make for brighter and more optimistic situations, being friends could actually take some of the shine off their relationship. So, is Sharon and Phyllis's continued reconciliation a temporary truce, or will they truly become close friends? The answer will surely only be found as the events on Y&R continue to unfold. But one thing is clear: the relationship between Sharon and Phyllis, whether as friends or enemies, will always be a big part of the story on The Young and the Restless. The relationship between Sharon and Phyllis has taken some unexpected turns over the years, from intense rivalry to a strange and awkward reconciliation. While they are both trying to work through their difficult feelings and learn to respect each other, the question of whether they can continue to maintain this reconciliation remains open. And whether as friends or enemies, the presence of Sharon and Phyllis always brings drama and excitement to the story on The Young and the Restless. Sharon Newman and Nick Newman's life has been a series of upheavals, from fierce arguments, family crises, to to heartaches in love. However, this trip to London could be a breath of fresh air in both of their lives, as they enjoy precious moments with their children Faith, Christian and Noah. Sharon and Nick have decided to leave Genoa City to relax and find peace after the terrible events that happened in Sharon's life. After 2 kidnappings, a long period of stress and fatigue, Sharon can finally breathe a sigh of relief. London, with its fresh air and poetic scenery, is the ideal place for her to find peace again. Together with Nick, she begins to enjoy a quiet family life, where there are no confrontations, no secrets, and no lingering troubles. However, this trip is not just a simple vacation. Behind the peace, are there secrets that Sharon and Nick will have to face when they return to Genoa City? And can their relationship change completely after this trip? An encounter with Victoria and an unexpected response while Sharon and Nick enjoy their vacation, life in Genoa City continues. One of the things that makes this trip more interesting is that Nick has to be in constant contact with Victoria, who is running the family business while he is away. Victoria, with her strong and straightforward nature, does not hesitate to give her advice about Sharon. From the beginning, Victoria does not hide her anxiety when hearing about Nick and Sharon's trip. She advises Nick to keep his distance from Sharon, thinking that his relationship with her is not only complicated but also likely to cause big problems in his family life. Sharon is a mess that you can't handle easily. Don't get caught up in it, Victoria warned Nick. However, after hearing Nick's updates and witnessing his changing moods and emotions, Victoria had a completely different reaction. She began to realize that there was a deep connection between Sharon and Nick that not everyone could understand. Despite their previous troubles, Victoria admitted that Sharon might be Nick's destiny. She couldn't deny that the two had a strong connection that few could replace. Victoria realized that, despite Nick's claims that he was keeping his relationship with Sharon platonic, this trip could change everything. Victoria had been around them long enough to know that, despite the difficulties in their relationship, there was something special about Sharon and Nick, a deep, undeniable love. And that was something Victoria, whether she wanted to or not, couldn't help but admit. Sharon relaxes and her closer relationship with Nick for Sharon. This trip was a real opportunity for her to recharge and recover from her deep trauma. The 2 kidnappings she experienced left her with terrible nightmares, and having to live in a state of vigilance for a long time had taken away much of her joy in life. But London, with its quiet space and peace, gave Sharon the opportunity to truly relax. She was able to relax and enjoy the moment with Nick and her beloved children, who have always been the pillars of her life. They were able to explore the old streets together, enjoy wonderful dinners and spend time together, something they had not been able to do before because of work and life stresses. Sharon seemed to have found joy in simple moments with her family. But while their families are closer than ever, Sharon and Nick's relationship is also deepening. They both realize that there is more than just familial love, there is also a personal connection, a love that has been rekindled after so many years. The moments together, the intimate conversations, and the loving care seem to be leading them back to each other once again. Is there a passionate kiss behind closed doors? While Noah, Faith, and Christian enjoy their private moments, Sharon and Nick have precious moments together. It is easy to imagine that in that private space, they will be swept up in romantic moments, where their feelings for each other are clearly expressed. Both of them no longer have barriers or worries, and when they are alone, they can freely express the love that has long been suppressed. Will secrets be kept or revealed? With all the romantic feelings and warm family, Sharon and Nick seem to be together in an ideal situation. However, the truth is that the secrets they carry in their hearts are still unresolved. When they return to Genoa City, will they be able to keep these feelings to themselves? And will their relationship truly be able to withstand the realities and challenges of everyday life? When they return to their daily lives, worries about the future, work and family will again become problems to face. Will Sharon and Nick be able to continue to maintain this harmony, or will they face new storms and challenges in their relationship? This trip to London has created big changes in the relationship between Sharon and Nick. Both have rediscovered their family bond and romantic love, but at the same time, they have to face their secrets that have not been revealed. How will their relationship develop when they return to Genoa City? The answer is still unclear, but it is certain that their feelings have changed, and things will never be the same again. Will they be able to keep their secret, or will they face painful realities when they return to their old lives? Only time will tell.